Hey, look.
High track speed, vodka no limit. Watching me on Pornhub, Siberia, Paris transit. I like Kazakhstan, I like Maria and Juan. Do you like my pretty pussy? Direct Instagram. Oh, my friend, come to Russia for weekend. Oh, my friend, narcotic, don't forget. Johnny in Kamazan race, LSD Sputnik to space. If you like romantic games, I'm sitting on your face.
And now it's Artemi's Breadbasket. Thank you for joining us. I'm D. My friend George here. He's not my life partner. He's just my friend. We're two cis males, straight white men. I'm sorry about that. We do apologize for what we are. Am I doing a bad job with my apology, George? Sorry.
It's amazing. All right.
Anyway, big day in NHL today. Trade deadline. It's the 12th of April, 2021. We had some things go down, little late minute Steve Yzerman action. A lot happened. I was texting George all day today. Hey, George, how are you?
I'm doing good. I saw about half of those text messages because I was at my job that currently pays the bills. I'm hoping this one eventually will, but I still have to shovel shit on a daily basis. But yeah, it was active. I mean, not so much by the Rangers. But there was definitely action going on around the NHL. There were some big names tossed around. Some were a little bit like older names. Some were expected. Some weren't expected. And I feel like a lot of the deals, right? Did you get the feeling that a lot of the deals were one-sided? Like there were 2 or 3 that were like so lopsided in favor of one team.
You saw like the first it got going with like Nick Foligno, and before that it got going with Kyle Palmieri and the Jesus himself, Lamoriello for Palmieri and Sajak. Like, okay. He gave up a first round for them basically in like 2 fucking plugs. So you kind of figured like, oh, that was going to be the market. And like, you figured like, especially for Taylor Hall, because he went to the, Bruins. You didn't think, a second round pick for Hall is fucking crazy. It's like,
yeah.
That guy, Kevin Adams, was the GM of the Buffalo Sabres, got absolutely fucking fleeced.
So were those the first 2 deals that went down? I know obviously the Devils was the first big one, right? And then Hall went down, or was there something in between? Because basically you're telling me right there that teams were not getting value for their high-priced or high-flying wingers, the high-flying players, the skilled players that they thought they might get.
Well, listen, I mean, no, like first, listen, for Palmieri's like a 25, 30 goal scorer on a good team, like when they're playing well.
That was probably fair value.
So he got a first round pick. He's an expiring contract. Sajak's not good. He can win faceoffs and probably play on the penalty kill.
Correct.
But I don't really think like that's. I mean, it's always good to add another center or whatever. But he's going to be playing third, fourth line. He's going to be playing the third line.
So essentially, I mean, it's good though. It's a good player to have for the playoff run they're going to get. But basically, they paid a first round pick for like a rental of a top flight scorer, and then a depth guy.
Yeah.
So it's fair. I would say that was fair.
Right. So that's what I'm saying for the Hall thing. Like Hall was a second round fucking pick. Curtis Lazar and Taylor Hall went to Buffalo for Anders Bjork and a second round pick.
I really wish I could tell you information about Anders Bjork.
They're plugs. They're fourth line plugs.
For sure. Bjork so essentially you're telling me it was Taylor Hall for a second round pick.
Yeah.
If you cross out the other two,
which is fucking crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know Hall is having an off year and shit, but
it's an off year. I guess, I mean, they're absorbing a prorate, it's prorated, right? So it's whatever.
Yeah, they're splitting the money.
Or they're splitting the money and then and he's gone. He's gone at the end of the season too. It's a rental. He's not going to re-sign with them. Obviously.
I'm assuming they're probably going to try and sign him to one of their like Boston fucking hometown discounts. Like, relax, guys. I don't understand the aura of Boston and their hometown discount bullshit. Because like you guys won the cup. Respect. You guys have been a good team for the last 10 years. But you guys won the cup 10 years ago. It's not like you've been winning the cup like all the time.
No, they've been competitive and everything, but yeah, it's been a minute since they actually won. They came close twice since then, right?
Yeah, they just have this bullshit aura around them. Like I'm a New Yorker, right? So I honestly don't give a flying fuck about Boston. because I'm a New York Yankee fan too. Like,
Right. Yeah. I Boston's weird. I love the city, but I hate the teams. Right.
Yeah.
I love the city. The city's cool. Like I can see how attractive it could be to be an athlete in Boston, live in Boston, and like
Sure.
and have that fan base is crazy. You go out, they mingle with the people, right? They go out and they like people, you see them out. It's not like, in New York, if you're
New
an
York's
athlete in New York, you're in the back rooms, you're in the VIP, you're getting in and out of the restaurant through the back. People don't really see you out. Um, in Boston, it's different. It's actually, I could see the appeal to having a career in Boston and why maybe they want to stay there. But whatever, they do a sick job of keeping these teams together in a cap era. Not easy to do what they do.
The other big trade that happened early on today was Jeff Carter going to the Pittsburgh Penguins, which I'm shocked they weren't at after Hall too, but for a 2022 conditional third round, a 2023 conditional fourth round.
What's the conditions? Do you know?
2022 third pick can upgrade to a second round pick if the Penguins get to the Stanley Cup final and Carter plays in at least 50% of the games.
Right.
The fourth becomes a third if Carter plays in at least 50 games, 21-22 season next year.
Okay. I mean, the guy's not like he was the Kings' #1 center for so long, right? He's not what he used to be.
No.
But he's still, I mean, now you have up the middle, down the middle, you have, you got Crosby, Malkin, and then Carter. That's pretty crazy. Like,
that's pretty solid.
He's a beast, this guy. I hate him. I mean, I can't stand him ever since 2014, right?
Yes.
Every time I see his face, it gives me bad memories, nightmares.
Oh, the other crazy one. So, like the Columbus Blue Jackets, that guy, that Finnish maniac is he's a solid GM, bro.
Kukalainen? Is it Kukalainen?
Because he traded fucking David Savard.
Right.
Who's like a good stay-at-home D guy. But, like, who gives a shit?
A bag of pucks? What do you get? What do you get for him?
Bro, he got a first-round pick and a third-round pick.
I mean, okay, he got a first-round pick out of it. And who did he trade him
to?
It
was a three-way trade. Columbus got a first-round pick and a third-round pick. Detroit Red Wings took on some money, $2.1 million. Fourth round, and they got a fourth-round pick from Tampa. And Tampa gets Savard and Brian Lassoff,
whose pick is that?
Plug.
So wait, is that Tampa's pick?
Yeah.
So Tampa's pick is like basically a second-round pick, though, because it's at the bottom. It's going to be at the bottom of the draft. So. All right. So, I mean,
for this plugger, though, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot. So it's really weird. So, like, the cost it doesn't seem consistent.
And they also got a 2021 first-round pick and a 22 fourth-round pick from Toronto for Nick Foligno and Stefan Newson. And they got San Jose to fucking take on 1.375 of his contract for a fourth-round pick. So, essentially, like, fucking Toronto paid for 3 picks for Nick Foligno. One of them being a first. And they can't get Hall. They get a first for Hall? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what's going on in Buffalo.
That guy's out to lunch, bro. That guy's fucking dumb. He's a dummy. I could run the Buffalo Sabres.
So for people that don't know, Dimitri's been telling me, I don't think we mentioned it before on the show, but
that I think I can pull them out of this free for all.
Yeah, it's literally it's become a tradition. Every day I get at least 1 or 2 texts saying what you would do to make the
I could turn the fucking
make the Buffalo Sabres franchise a viable franchise.
I can do that. I feel very confident in being able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like they kind of like setting the bar pretty low,
right? I don't know whose fucking nephew this guy is the guy who runs the Sabres. What's his name again?
Who he's? I don't know. Listen, if you're waking up and you're Eichel today, like, how do you feel about the future of you on this team?
Not optimal.
And another thing with Kevin the goalie there, right? Ever since this goalie came back from injury, they've been playing like pretty well, right? They've been winning like 50% of their games. They snapped the streak, and now they're beating teams like the Rangers and they beat the Caps. Who they beat? They beat a couple.
They're being competitive.
They beat the Islanders too, right?
Yeah, they're being competitive in their games.
They're being competitive. They're beating good teams, and it's because of this goalie. And now, like this goalie, I don't know if they want him back or he's not.
They said that they're trying to sign him.
So they are going to try to sign him. All right, because I saw
he's going to test free agency though. Someone's going to come and throw like Freddie Anderson's gone from Toronto.
That's what I saw, that he's going to test free agency, but you think they're going to try to lock him in, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, he's still going to probably wait till July 1st. Like, I don't think he's going to sign a fucking deal now. He's probably going to wait.
There's a lot of solid. There's a lot of teams out there that could use a goalie that like would be a better place to play than
I'm
Buffalo.
telling you, Toronto's going to go after him because Freddie Anderson's done. Freddie Anderson is also a free agent. They have Campbell too, but
what about your boy Campbell?
no, he's doing work, and they
The
should
city's
definitely
in love
keep
with this
Campbell.
guy.
Listen, he's doing work. They should definitely keep him.
Is he 11-0?
He was the last time I saw. I don't know if they're playing tonight or whatever, but
Why has he played so few games? Was he injured?
I don't know. They had a bunch of guys. They had like 3 fucking guys. Freddie Anderson got injured. Now Campbell's been playing more and more. I don't think he was in like the rotation really, or he was, and it was 3 of them. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. But they're definitely going to go after him. They're definitely going to go after Allmark, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Especially they're going to clear out $5 million from Freddie Anderson. They're going to go after him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which
he's a good goalie, bro. He's really good. I knew nothing about him. Is he like from their farm system? Or has he been there for a while?
I have no idea.
Shit, I lost him. Oh, no.
You want me to look? I'm looking right now.
No, that's right. It's not that important. You want to move on to the next, like, kind of like it's not a blockbuster, but kind of like what the hell's going on? The Caps and the Red Wings trade.
Crazy trade. Stevie Eyes coming in fucking hot and hurt heavy. Yeah, he's drafted by Buffalo.
This guy's rebuilding this team. Like, I mean, you got to be excited if you're a Red Wings fan, what they're doing. I mean, it's hard to watch right now,
right?
But in what would you say in like another 4 or 5 years? And like the thing with the Red Wings is they're putting themselves in a position where these next couple of drafts, not this year, but the next 2, they're supposedly like super elite at the top, like better than last year, better than what we've seen in the last couple of drafts, including that kid Connor Bedard. Right, that everybody's falling over, everybody's losing their minds over.
Yeah, and the thing with this specifically is like they got to hold back for this guy Mantha. Like, I guess people are fucking rock hard for this guy Mantha because he's fucking tall. I guess is that why? Great, he's tall.
They like big guys in the NHL.
Yeah,
right?
I know, but like Vrana's literally scores more points than this guy does.
And Panic's good too, bro. I always thought Panic was good.
And they got a first round, even
and
if
a first round,
and a second round pick.
Yeah, I don't get
for this guy. And I was like, oh, maybe this guy's like a 35 goal scorer or whatever.
No, people like him.
He's a 25 goal scorer. He's fine. He's fine.
A lot of people like him, but this is a crazy haul in return, dude. Crazy haul.
And like everyone's saying, oh, yeah, the Washington Capitals are gunning for the championship. Like, yeah, obviously every fucking year they are. But let's not act like this is fucking what I don't understand because they got bigger. Is that why they're better now?
And when you give up all these assets, right? Like you have to ask, like, who are you bidding against? Like, is there a huge market out there where there are a lot of teams out there like banging on the door? Like, I need this guy on my team.
Maybe.
Like,
and the funny thing is, like, this guy Mantha got fucking a first round, a second round, Jacob Vrana and Panic, like got pieces back. And I'm gonna go back to the whole thing. And that dumb fuck Kevin Adams in Buffalo couldn't get a fucking first round pick for Taylor Hall. That's fucking crazy. Because really you had a lot of people that were selling. The St. Louis Blues were definitely shopping Mike Hoffman. They had Palmieri early on. There was a lot of wingers that could score that were available.
So now, okay.
Yzerman's a wizard, bro. And he's hot. He's a good-looking dude.
He's very good looking. He's a stud as a player as well. So now, like, how also like this has an immediate effect on the Rangers in their playoff run, right? Like
we're playing against fucking
the Bruins just like solidified their team. The Sabres depleted their lineup a little bit. And the Bruins, who are chasing, right, for the last playoff spot, they play the Sabres like how many times? Have they even played?
Oh, yeah, that's I think 6 times.
6 times they have to play them. So that's 6 games against a team that you just kind of, you raided the cupboard. So it's not looking really great for our
Not at all.
Yeah, it was a long shot to begin with, and now after today, it's kind of even worse.
Also, like, they traded Hall last night at like midnight or 1 a.m. Like, wait till the deadline, bro. What are you fucking doing?
I know you texted me. I saw a lot of people say that too. Like the NHL's gearing up, like all their media coverage for this like big trade deadline, and all the big names are gone already. Like before 10 o'clock, before we go to bed the night before.
I don't understand
Typical NHL.
I don't know that thought process. Fucking wait, you fucking idiot. Even if like because he had a no move clause, right? So even if he was like, oh, I only want to waive it for Boston or maybe another other team, and that's where you're running into some problems. Fucking wait till fucking 3:00, bro. Who gives
I
a shit?
think. I mean, you can lock the deal up, right? You can lock the deal up. You can. Everybody's agree. Like, maybe do the paperwork, whatever, and just don't announce it till then, right? Can you do that?
I don't
If you're
know.
afraid somebody else is going to scoop down, like swoop down and take your.
Well, listen, if I'm Boston and we have a deal like that, kind of like verbally agreed on, but the paperwork's not in,
you're announcing it.
Yeah, I'm leaking it to
I don't know if
whoever
you're allowed.
first, right?
I don't know if that's allowed, right? Is that allowed?
I don't know. I don't think so. Like, I don't think so.
It's probably against.
But they're like, and then you see the next day, like close up to the fucking deadline, it's like 1 o'clock, 2 hours before or something. Florida gets Sam Bennett.
This is a guy that D's been like.
I like him. He's got an edge, bro. He's a centerman.
The Rangers should look for him.
He's a centerman. He's a ginger. He's edge. He can fight.
We don't have enough redheads on the team. That's true.
Right. Bingo. Yeah. And I just like he's a good bottom 6 player.
Bottom 6.
Not good enough for a second round pick. Not good enough for a second round pick. So basically, Calgary gets Emil Heineman, who's an AHL junior. Okay, blah. Plug. Roster that Malakias. In Greek, that means bullshit. Doesn't really mean bullshit, but whatever. And a second round pick for Sam Bennett and a 6th round pick. And Taylor Hall is a second round. Is the same as Sam Bennett.
So you're comparing. So they got the same haul that Taylor Hall got, right? Is that what you're saying?
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. That is weird. You're right. If that's basically what he is, he's a bottom 6 player. That seems like a little bit off.
Nuts, bro. Chicago got Adam Gaudette, which I like. I actually like Gaudette. And Vancouver got Highmore. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what kind of what the fuck he trade. What is that? Just to say, oh, we made a trade today, guys. Congrats.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think too. We were discussing that, right? These guys get paid a lot of money to do what they do. They think they have to look like they're trying.
Right.
They have to break some news to their fans, especially teams that maybe are not in it, or even the teams that are in it. So that if something were to go down, they could say, hey, listen, we tried. We acquired this guy at the deadline. He didn't do anything for us. I don't know.
Yeah, but then even Vancouver, they shipped Jordy Ben to the Winnipeg.
It's like any other of these suit jobs, man. These people the people that are not on the ground.
They have to do their busy work, right?
They have to kind of legitimize what they're getting paid for a little bit.
Predators got Erica Branson for Brandon Fortunato. I mean, there's a bunch of other trades, but not a very flurry.
Not a very sexy trade deadline, to be honest with you.
It's interesting. Like, you could just always find a way to shit on fucking Buffalo. And to be completely honest, it's rightfully fucking so.
It's
the guy pulled the trigger. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, what's going to happen with Eichel? Are we going to just rip them off?
I mean, I think a lot of teams are looking at the
We're going to send Brendan Howden for Eichel straight up.
Everyone's looking at the Sabres right now and they're licking their lips like they're a wounded animal out in the field. Everybody just wants to attack.
Like, dude, if I'm that guy, Kevin Adams, I'm telling Boston, like, bro, you think it can get any worse? It can't. So I want a 1st round fucking pick, or I'm going to keep this motherfucker. I don't give a shit. You think I give a fuck?
And there was definitely a lot of guys. I mean, how many teams? Boston was probably at the bottom of the list of teams we were discussing that wanted him, right? We were talking Toronto. We were talking the Islanders, right?
Yeah.
We were talking.
I think he got
a reunion with Edmonton.
I think what happened, he got scared that because the Islanders scooped up Palmieri, but I think they were still in on Hall. But since they picked him up, and then Foligno went to Toronto, his pucker, he started his butt pucker. It's the pucker.
So a couple of options fell off the board.
So I mean, but it's still a bad fucking try. I don't give a fuck. Like, stay in your fucking ground, bro. Until fucking 259, I'd be like, all right, fine. The 2nd round pick is fine. And if they say no, I'd be like, all right, fuck you. Be a fucking I'm sorry, bro.
No, I know. I get it.
Let's be real. A 2nd round pick, it's a crapshoot. You don't fucking know if they're gonna work out. It's probably 10% chance they're gonna be an NHLer.
And it's like Boston's 2nd round pick. I don't know where that's gonna be. Like,
figure 20 at least.
20th in the 2nd round, so it's like 50th overall, right? Something like that. So nothing's. I mean, like, listen, 2nd round picks have value for sure. I mean,
Right.
look at our team. Like we got, Buchnevich was in the third round.
No, all right.
Second round picks do have value. But yeah, it's a lot less likely you're going to land somebody that's going to be on your team in the future. And you need all the assets you can get right now if you're Buffalo. You need all the first round picks. Like you need this year's. We're not talking next year. We're not talking the year after. Even though it's a soft draft, you need to start stocking that farm team now. Like you got to just, also for your job, right? Like, aren't you scared of getting fired if you're this guy? I don't know how many years he has left. What's the details of his contract? But when you're the laughing stock of the league, and then you go through you actually have an asset that people want. I get that he hasn't had the best year, but you have to like.
Bro, and Eric Stoll, he got a third and a fifth round pick. So for Eric Stoll,
I would have thought Eric Stoll
Taylor Hall,
second.
You got a second and a third and a fifth. That's a joke.
Yeah, that's a problem.
What's his face? Burger Van's been fucking busy. Bergevin. He's been scooping up people. Where was their fucking thing? Where's their fucking stupid also Buffalo Sabres third round pick for Brandon Montour to Florida. So anyway, back to Sam Bennett. I love Sam Bennett. I love his game. But what Florida paid for him, a second round pick, is way too much. Crazy. That's how I feel about that. Also, supposedly Iafallo, the kid from LA, the centerman, who's like a pretty good player. He was up for grabs, but I think they were still negotiating, and they ended up signing with the LA Kings for 4 years over 4.
All right.
So he's off the block. Are the Kings going to be good next year?
Not yet, but they're there. Like they're on their way. I think in terms of their rebuild, they're like slightly maybe behind the Rangers. I think the Rangers got expedited a little bit. They got sped up because of guys like Panarin and Fox coming in and playing like the way he is, and guys like I don't know, Buchnevich and all that. I mean, not Buchnevich.
I'm loving Buch, bro.
Keandre and shit like that.
Buch is trying to play with edge, bro. He doesn't take shit no more. I like it a lot.
Are you done with your synopsis of the trade deadline, you think?
One more thing. It's not really trade deadline. It's the guy who I have a special spot for in my heart is Nikita Gusev.
Yeah, what's happening with this guy, dude?
And listen, the people that are saying whoever said he was going to be a Panarin is a fucking dumb fuck. Okay,
no, they were saying
fucking idiot.
They were saying they were comparing him to Panarin, but they were saying Panarin light. I mean, the Devils just said basically Devils fans were just they were gloating basically that the Rangers paid so much and that they got the.
Oh, that's crazy! Even that
the $4.5 million.
That's here. I'm sticking the middle finger for people who listen.
I was a little nervous too when they got him, and I heard that you saw his game was amazing in the KHL, right? So I was like, they got this high value player for a lot less than what we paid Panarin.
Paid him $4.5 million a year, 2 years.
So I was just I was cautiously
sure.
Wanted to
I didn't hockey fans fucking overreact anyway.
So what's the deal with him?
So he got released unconditionally, still getting paid from the Devils, which is dope. And then he got signed by the Florida Panthers for $1 million.
Wow.
So he's gonna be in the playoffs, And if he steps up and plays well in the playoffs, he'll get another contract. He is an NHLer. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I don't give a show me the stupid graphs. Fuck your graphs, okay? Last year when he got burned, he played well.
Right. And he's going to go into a team right now that has a lot of talent already. That's doing really well. So maybe he'll thrive, he won't have to be the offensive firepower, right? He could just thrive off of everybody being on a third line instead of having to be on a second or a first.
Bro, he wasn't even on a third line. They were scratching him.
I know. I'm just
last year when he was on top lines, top 6 guy, he played well.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, all right, let's sit, maybe he had a rough start to the season. They gave up on him too early. He's going to a situation where he doesn't need to be the guy. He doesn't need to be the catalyst.
I think what happened, this is conspiracy theory time, but it's his contract year, right? And he had a pretty good fucking year. He was on the way to over 50 points. I think he had 44 points in 60 some odd games last year. So this year they scooped up the guy from Toronto, Johansson or whatever. He stinks. He's a fucking plug. He stinks. He's getting paid $3.5 million. He's got a couple more years left on his contract. compared to Gusev, who's another winger, who's on his contract year, coming off a good year. So if he scored another 50 or whatever the fuck, 6.6 points per game, he's going to want money. So I think they fucking buried him. That's what I think.
You think they want to bury him just because they were afraid to pay him?
I think somebody didn't like him and they buried him. That's what I think.
That's different. Yeah.
But you're right, because they could trade him too if he's.
Yeah, you don't want him. I mean, if you have an asset that's doing well, you just trade him if you don't want him,
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think Ruff didn't like him.
That's possible, yeah.
Something happened where somebody didn't like somebody, because you don't just get buried and then maybe help scratched.
I'm not an NHL coach, I'm in construction or whatever, but if I have a talented guy that it's hard to find talented guys, no matter what you do, it's hard to find talent, right? Talent pays the bills. Talent gets your job done, whether it's winning a cup or fucking putting up a building. You make it work, dude.
Sure.
I mean, you got to try harder than that, to make it work. Unless something egregious happened, like with Tony DeAngelo, where they gave basically 3 strikes.
Uh-huh. So yeah, that's it. I think Nikita Gusev's a good player, and I think he should be in the league. And if I was Buffalo's GM, I would definitely look to sign him for like $1.5 million, $2 million a year
At the end of the season, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of Tony DeAngelo, did you see this tweet by Darren Dredger? New York Rangers were willing to mutually terminate DeAngelo's contract to allow him to pass through waivers and sign as a free agent. And Montreal believed to be interested as early as this weekend. However, DeAngelo opted not to accept and will be bought out of his contract this summer. So
what does it mean to mutually terminate? It means like you don't have to pay him?
Yeah, so if DeAngelo agreed to terminate with the New York Rangers, he would lose $1 million this year and 5.3 next year. Yeah, so he obviously said no to that.
Yeah, I mean,
because if he gets bought out, he's going to lose 3.5, 2/3 of next year instead of losing 5.3. So he's keeping 2.7 million. So it's it's obviously,
I mean,
he wants to
think
get bought
about
out.
What you will with DeAngelo. He's a fucking dirtbag or whatever.
The problem with that, like, even though it makes sense money wise. The problem with that is he had a team interested in him right now. Will he have a team interested in him after next year?
Yeah,
maybe. Right? Yeah, you think so?
Bro, if he gets bought out in July, he's gonna get signed again for like $1 million or something, $2 million.
Yeah,
someone's definitely gonna take a flyer on him.
What a dummy!
He's too good.
This guy signed a prove it contract. I mean, he basically signed a contract. It was a good contract, but he was basically trying to prove that he can be paid like Trouba, right? That he can be a top defenseman in the NHL and offensive defenseman. And he just ruined it. Like, he has to do it all over again. He's got to prove himself all over again. And this next time,
that's why I don't blame him for mutually cutting the contract. Like, get as much money as
he wants to get as much money as he can now.
Anybody would do that. Let's be real here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a surprise, but I just thought that was interesting because I just came across right now. I just thought it was interesting that somebody was finally interested in him.
I'm sure a ton of people called for them. I wouldn't be shocked if like 7-8 teams called for DeAngelo, but they were probably lowballing the shit out of them.
Right.
The Rangers had to keep money or retain money or whatever. All that.
I think that's what it would have. That's probably what it was, right? The money. Like, what do you care what you get back from him? He's basically just burning a hole in your bench, right?
Yeah.
And I would rather trade him than have to buy him out. Another buyout to add to the list of buyouts on this team, which is like it's piling up.
I mean,
so even though,
you know how much fucking cap room we're gonna have next year, even with signing.
Oh, I know. Even with all this money that we're still paying out, I mean, but the buyouts I think are a lot less. Huh?
They're saying it's gonna be anywhere between $15 and $20 million in cap space,
depending on what. I mean, we already know what the cap is, right? It's gonna stay flat.
Well, this year, like, I don't know what Bush is gonna get and shit like that, and like there's a couple other ones, but I guess it's just a range. That guy stat miner who's a fucking savant.
No, he's awesome, dude. I don't know. I don't know much.
That's a legitimate amount of money. I mean, I hope we don't get stuck with some shitty fucking contract, like sign some fucking 32-year-old to a 6-year deal or something. Like, we already have that with fucking Kreider, and he's our guy. We get it. That's fine. He's our burden to bear. We'll do it.
No matter how many good deals this guy Gordon makes, you always feel like he's going to try to sneak one of those really, like, what the F is he doing? Yeah. One of those kind of deals, one of those kind of players, off-season signings in there in the mix. You always feel like that's going to happen.
Right. I just hope we get a good deal for Eichel because we're definitely gunning for Eichel hard.
So the Rangers didn't make any trades, but they did make a move. They did make an addition to the lineup, and they signed
Zach Jones.
signed their prospect Zach Jones, who just won he won the national championships with his team in college, right?
Yeah.
UMass. That was what day was that? Was that?
It was yesterday. No,
Was it yesterday?
I don't know. No, 2 days ago. I don't know.
I feel. Why do I feel it was like 2 days ago, right? So
Probably right.
So he wins. So he was on the top line out. He was top pair right there, and everybody had said that he had told them that they were going to come before they won the championship. He had declared for another year. He was staying in college, and actually, I had discussed this with my cousin Sam. He said that he wasn't sure. He was nervous the fact that the Rangers and him didn't agree on signing the contract. He didn't know if they had been offered or if he had declined to sign. So he thought it was kind of he was a little nervous.
Well, I'm sure it was I'm sure him declaring for a second year was probably him fucking the negotiation tactic.
Right. Maybe. I mean, the Rangers have a lot of, they have a lot there. The depth in defense is crazy between what we have on the team and what we still have in the pipeline. So, you don't want something like that. What happened to Adam Fox, where Adam Fox kind of forced his way out of Carolina. You don't want it to happen to you now. I mean, if it happens, it happens. A lot of these guys are going to get traded because you can't. Not everybody.
We locked him up now, so he's ours.
So they lock him up, right? They burn the first year off his ELC, and they say he's going to join the team right after quarantine. So where is he going to slot in? He's he plays the left side. So you got on the left side, you got Lindgren, Keandre, Zach Jones.
Who's now? Smith?
Right now on the left.
Or Hayek?
Hayek. I think it's Hayek, right? Hayek's on the left.
Yeah, they're probably going to play fucking hot potato. If I'm fucking Yarmo, the guy in fucking Hartford, I want out. I want to play, like, in the NHL.
Tarmo?
Yeah, bro. I want out. If I'm any one of these D guys.
I think the smart thing for him is to play out the rest of the year and see where this goes.
Obviously,
because you don't know. This guy, Zach Jones, he might shit the bed. He might come on the team. He might do terribly. He might need seasoning in the AHL. If that's the case, he goes down to the A, and you bring Tarmo up if you really want to move on from Libor. You know what I mean? Because that even though they both scored in the last game, that pairing is kind of a liability.
I think Libor, they're just showcasing him for Seattle.
Draft, the expansion draft. It's a possibility because you're going to expose him, right?
Yeah, most likely.
He's getting exposed. Rooney probably is getting exposed.
I saw a list from Statminer of all people who like protected Howden. I almost died, almost fainted.
He protected? No, he probably did that not because he wanted to, but probably because he thinks the Rangers will.
That's insane to me, bro. That's fucking crazy to me, bro.
We'll see what happens, but they a lot of people have been saying that too about Libor, that they're giving him ice time, they're giving him those kind of third pair minutes. He's young, he's cost controlled. So if he were to do well and put some decent points up, maybe they would take him over, some of the forwards that they don't want to go.
Right.
Which I would really love it if they would just
I get it. I mean, we're stacked defensive prospects, so wise, right?
Say again?
We're stacked on defense. Prospect.
Stacked, yeah, absolutely stacked. That's why when we talk about Eichel, I see a lot. As far as trading, I see a lot of the defensive prospects going, at least a couple of them.
Yeah,
because you're going to trade from a position of strength, right?
If I'm me and I have a brain, not like this fucking idiot Kevin Adams who fucking GMs the Buffalo Sabres. If you have somebody with a brain, yeah, all right, give me a couple of fucking defensive assets and shit, but I want fucking NHL liners, top 6, or I want Kakko, who's becoming a top 6 guy.
I don't know if you're trading Eichel, you're in the middle of a rebuild again. Not in the middle, you're starting your rebuild all over.
Sure.
So do you need top 6 wingers? I mean, like, yeah, you need to put on the ice. You need to put some kind of a product, some kind of a team. But I would rather get young players. I'd rather get prospects, young players, and draft picks, dude, because they're starting over. The whole thing, the clock has to start over. The window has to be all.
These are all, but listen, they're all shots in the dark. besides either NHLers or guys who are like real deal prospects.
For sure, they're
like
gonna get.
Gauthier is a real deal prospect who should be getting more minutes on another team, right? So like he's in it. He's a sweetener in that deal for sure.
Right.
I would want
And
like all right, like Strome is what 27. He's not
him, a
old.
guy like. So you're saying like him, a guy like Strome or Booch, right?
First and
And then-
foremost, I'm asking for Hedel, Bush, Gauthier, or Kako. I'm asking for something crazy.
Right.
And Zach
They will,
Jones.
of course.
And
they're
like
gonna
a
ask for
pick.
Kako. They're gonna ask. Well, Gordon's gonna tell them these guys are off the table, and then
All right, well, I have Jack Eichel, you fucking idiot. You dumb fuck. How's that sound?
yeah, but look,
Gordo?
yeah, but you know, Gordon could say, "Listen, look, I have my,
Click, I already
have
hung
my,
up on you.
I have my first line center. I got my second line center. Strom's playing like a legit
All right.
1A, 1B.
Oh, I know. LA just called me about Eichel too, so we'll talk soon.
LA's not calling because they got plenty. They got plenty of guys, the kids that can play. They're not going to call as hard as the Rangers would call.
You don't think
Their
a lot
trade
of people are
partners
going to
New
call
York.
for Eichel?
Their trade partners, New York, dude. I'm telling you.
You don't think a lot of people are going to call for Eichel? You don't think if I'm fucking Kevin Adams, I'm calling Calgary about Monahan and Gaudreau?
They're going to be rebuilding soon, I think. A lot
Yeah,
of
no
people are
shit.
saying
They don't like Gaudreau anymore. That guy Sutter's a miserable piece of
so
shit.
if they're rebuilding, they're not going after Eichel. I think the teams are
Are
the
you
Rangers,
crazy, George?
the Kings.
That means Greek. Have you gone crazy?
It's the Rangers and the Kings, man. It's a
You're
two-horse
wrong.
race.
You're
That's
crazy.
all it is.
You're wrong.
Who else?
Bro,
Also the cap hit.
you need to
It's also the
assume
cap hit.
you need to assume that there are at least 10 teams that were very interested, and 5 teams are like past that, and then 3 teams, Rangers are one of them,
Mhm.
that are in it to win it, and have the pieces to go.
If I'm Gordon, I'm playing hardball. That's all I'm saying. I'm not bending over. After what I just saw, after the pieces I just saw
sure.
go for Hall, and for the other guys that were traded,
Yeah,
I'm playing hardball.
I agree with you. That's
I'm
what
not
I would
saying
do.
that
I'm
I
Gordon
know-
too. Yeah,
I know that they're going to give up assets. I hope that they give up 2 fucking first rounders because I don't care about first round picks anymore. In my opinion, my rebuild is over. If trading an extra first round pick means I get to keep some of my prospects or players that I know can help now in this timeline, yeah, I'm doing that. I'm going to give you one of my top tier prospects, a B tier prospect, one of my top, 2 of my first round picks, an established player. Yeah, I know that's going to happen, but I'm not giving you much more than that. That's
I
it.
feel like what I would ask for, because I want to win now, because Buffalo fans deserve it. I want to be competitive. Is I want an entire line. So I want Strome, Booch, and Kako. That's
No
what I
shot.
want.
It's not happening.
Why not?
It's not. Kako is off the table. Kako, Lafreniere are off the table.
Why?
They just are. They
Why?
just are.
So
You
what would
can't- you
happen?
can't
Because
win-
I know that's what's going to happen. Would it be? I want Strome, Booch, Gauthier, Zach Jones, and 2 firsts.
Fine.
Wow, thank you.
Let's do it.
Like for me, I'm a G. Like that's a haul back. I know Eichel's amazing, but
That
that's
is-
like that's great. That's a good haul back, bro.
That's a second line. That's a good second line.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a
A
first line.
top defensive prospect and a first round pick. That's pretty solid. That's pretty
And
solid.
I really believe Gauthier is good. Like I really think he should be a top 6 guy.
That's way better than what they got today. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know it's Eichel, but that's way better in terms of value for the person that they trade away.
Like I feel like a deal like that, there's always going to be some idiot that's going to be like, "Oh, that's crazy" or whatever. Either way, right?
Sure.
Like everyone's getting, like it's an equitable agreement for everybody.
So it passes the NHL 21 GM mode, whatever it's called, the trade.
I don't know. I haven't played that. Do the cap friendly.
Another tweet I saw today that Nils Lundqvist, Gordon saying that he expects Nils Lundqvist to come to the New York Rangers next season. This was Molly Walker on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So now you got your pairings are as follows: Adam Fox, Ryan Lindgren, Jacob Trouba, Keandre Miller, Nils Lundqvist, Zach Jones. I mean,
It's
that's
very
not-
young though, which
if that doesn't tingle,
no,
if that doesn't get you going in the
Killer.
morning, I don't know what does because
The
it's
only
just exciting.
listen, the third line, like that young, like you're worried about that in the NHL.
Yeah, you're saying that you don't think, especially a guy like David Quinn is not rolling out those two guys at the same time.
Right. I
But
don't
what about but if you have such an experience, like such a good, like solid quality top four, top two pairings,
that
maybe
they
you
can
can do
cover.
it. Maybe you can do it.
Yeah,
And
but
you
I mean,
listen, it's not like it's not like you just pencil them in right now. I mean, they're gonna have to go through training camp, they're gonna have to go through preseason, they're gonna get to see them together.
let's say they show enough where they're competitive with like the the sixth, seventh, eighth defenders. The only problem is like even this year they've been saying it. They don't want Adam Fox to be 27 minutes a game, or every game basically,
Yeah.
which I get, and I think we should sign Adam Fox to a 100-year deal.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
But I'm with
Adam
you. Like,
Fox,
yeah, he shouldn't be playing 28 minutes.
Adam Fox is gonna retire a Ranger. He's gonna have his number in the rafters. You understand?
Two
That's
cups.
it. 3 cups.
Okay.
3 cups.
3 cups. Sure. I'll
I'm
take
in this
one.
for a dynasty, bro. What's a dynasty nowadays? 3? It's 3, right? You can't have 2 and have.
I guess a dynasty's 3, yeah, but 2 is crazy. Like 2 is crazy.
2 is listen, I'm 36 and I've had only 1. So if I can get 2 in one window, 1 10-year window, yeah, sure.
2 would
I'll
be
take
sick.
it. Listen, I just want if we're gonna get a cup in this, if we're just gonna get one, can we get it when we can actually have a parade? That would be nice, and we can actually go see a game.
Oh, because of the pandy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I listen, we're not going to win a cup next year even, and we'll be able to watch games next year most likely. So
timeline looking like if the Rangers can keep playing, like they're trending in the right direction, right? They did it last year where they started off slow, they're trending right. Next year they need to be in the playoffs.
Next year, back to the Metro.
Get in the playoffs. I think if they get in the playoffs, they can make a little semi-run.
I agree with you. Next year,
second or third run,
especially with a good trade for Eichel, even without him, but with a good trade for Eichel, the expectations are there. There's no more. This is a rebuild of young kids. Suck on my ass. No.
With the growth you saw in Kako, and you see even Lafreniere, right? You see him like lately. I know you missed a couple of the moments with Lafreniere, but he's been playing like really.
Yeah, I saw the highlights. Yeah, he played well.
Super confident. Like
Kravtsov's looking legit.
He's not looking passive. Who? Kravtsov? Kravtsov is.
They're all looking good.
I think he was probably the best skater on the Rangers side the last game.
That's sick, bro.
I think he was the Rangers' best player the last game, which is crazy. Only in his 3rd game. I expected him to flash. He's flashing already, and it's multiple times. I think were there 5 highlights, I think, in that one game, the last game, the Rangers, where they lost against the Islanders in OT. There were at least 5. They put like a little 6 highlight package together, and like he looked great.
Yeah.
Really great.
Listen, he played in KHL. KHL is not a sneeze at. It's a legit league. So
for a while,
playing with men. So
for a while now too.
Yeah.
He had a rough time of it last year between the Rangers and Hartford. But since then, everybody's been having like rave reviews about the kid.
I think it's all about confidence.
So there's a lot to like about that. You want to go over the games that happened? You missed them, right? They were like the Rangers should have won the last game.
Right. Yeah, I saw the end of that.
They played so poorly, bro, in the first period. They played horribly, and I thought that it looked like it was on the way to be like a blowout. I was getting a little nervous. Yeah. And then like the second and third period, we not completely dominated, but we outplayed them for sure.
Yeah, I don't understand that, man. I get it's hockey and like it's a lot that happens a lot, but yeah, for this team to be a legit cup, a cup contender, they need to be consistent.
And they need to be able to figure out how to beat the same team a couple times. You're playing the same team in a best of 7. You need to figure out how you can win more than once against everybody.
I kind of like that. Like we're 4 games out of the playoff, even with Boston 2 games in hand, whatever. I kind of like it. Like I hope this goes down. Like these next 15 games are like real meaningful, especially the last 2 with Boston, because for the younger guys, it's nothing but good for them, to like be in that kind of kind of setting. Yeah, even if they don't make
situations.
Right.
I agree. That's what they've been saying a lot, and I thought the same last year. You can't keep losing, right, to get good draft capital or whatever you want to say. Like, you have to eventually start that. They call it. It's at this point now. It's played out, but the culture, you have to develop the culture of winning. But it's more than that. It's like you have to play in situations where the hockey means something.
Right.
Where teams are getting up to play you, so they're giving you their best effort.
Mhm.
That's another. Like there's a lot of that too. Trust me. Like teams that are going to play the Detroit Red Wings right now or the Ottawa Senators, they're not getting up for the games like the way they are like against teams like with the Rangers, where they can make you look bad. You don't show up, they can make you look bad. They made the Flyers look bad a couple of times. They've made teams. They make who's the other team? Penguins. They make them look bad if you don't come that night, and they do. So, yeah, this season's it's good for them that they're close. I wish they were a little closer. If it wasn't for the beginning of the season, we might even be in the playoffs. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy to think of.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's all good. I mean, we're in a good spot. Hopefully, we rip off fucking Buffalo.
We got 4 straight. Yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens.
4 straight what?
We got 4 straight games against the Devils right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which is, it's interesting. Like we can go.
Yeah, can we? I hope we can go.
We can go 4-0, and we can go 1-3.
That's the problem with us. We're inconsistent.
Yeah, in the next 4 games. So this can be like pretty huge.
Right.
Boston's not playing great hockey. They just got didn't they just get blown out by the Capitals? That was them, right? 8-1 or whatever, 9-1.
They had trouble scoring, bro. On their defense, a little suspect too, because
they have one line. They have one legitimate.
Yeah, well, now they have Rusk. So.
Right. Okay. But
I mean, I hope Hall continues to stink. I hope he does, but who knows?
I mean, the Bruins are not the team they were the last couple of years. That's for sure. So, I mean, they could tail off. Anything can happen, but it's tight. It's and it's a little bit of a long shot. Yo, you want to play that clip?
Yeah, I couldn't find it because we were struggling with the.
You want me to play it from my iPhone onto my?
Do it. Yeah, do it.
Are you serious? I don't even know where it is.
Oh, you don't have it either. Okay, so it's fine. I don't have it either.
Let me see. Hold on. I never sent it to you, right? No.
It's the Brandon Dubinsky about
Yeah, we missed it last week. We wanted to include it in the show, but it's too good, right? It's too good to pass up.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's nuts, but okay. But I
love Doobie.
He battled a lot.
Doobie was a fan favorite. You remember him on the team?
Yeah.
You remember watching him? He was a fan favorite. I loved him. Solid center, bro. Solid, gritty, but could pot like 20 goals a season, and he could throw down.
He fought with fucking Crosby.
I mean, they hated each other.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize.
You remember the podcast? What the podcast was called?
Forget it. We're that deep in the woods. Forget it. We'll do it another time.
All right.
So essentially,
he basically said that like Ovi's better than him, and like he bitched at the refs the whole time.
Right. But not really that Ovi is better. That just he liked Ovi's style better, basically, right? Like they're comparable players, but he just likes that Ovi's not a little bitch.
Yeah, but they're not even comparable. I feel like
Well, actually, they have like Ovi's over the moon in goals. Obviously,
sure.
Their points are almost exact.
I know.
And Crosby's played, I think, like almost 2 seasons or a season and a half less than Ovi.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy.
The boss, bro.
Yeah, but Crosby also has the cups.
That's what I mean. He's the boss.
Oh, you said Crosby is the boss. I thought you said Ovi is. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both great. I mean,
listen, Ovi's gonna, he's a prolific goal scorer. He's fucking unreal.
The best. A lot of people are saying this lately because he's reached. Everybody's comparing him now to see if he can reach Gretzky's goal scoring record. I think it's true, dude.
That he can
score in this era. To score in this era, where the goalies are insane, like everybody's got, like a freaking acrobat in net, whereas Gretzky played in an era where the goalies were still making saves standing up, bro. It's like,
right. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to compare these generations. This guy is probably the best goal scorer of all time. He probably is.
I agree.
It's crazy that we're watching it and we're not realizing. A lot of people are not realizing.
I don't know. I think he gets the praise. I think people realize it, bro. I think people definitely realize it.
Nice to be a Capitals fan and to get to watch that for so long. And like he's still dominating. The guy's Is he 30? What is he, 30, 34, 35? He's 35? He could play till
35.
he's another one that could play till he's 40. He's built like a tank.
Bro, he's gonna play. And listen, the game he plays, it's like it's a little. I guess it's more aggressive than Panarin's, but it's not much
No.
different than Panarin's. So it's not much different,
Nah.
bro.
He's
not going to be
puts
throwing
his
the body around at 38.
He does, but he has over his career. So
I know.
it's not just about what he's going to do for the next 5 years, but over the last 15.
No, well, I mean to get to the number.
To get to the number, right? Yeah, but like his body's already been through it. Like
right.
He throws his weight
miss
around.
Games, bro.
And heavier guys, I mean, like it's just physics, right? Heavier guys don't last longer.
Right.
No? I mean, even though it's solid muscle, Russian steel.
But you got to assume, right? Like he could still be doing this at 38, 39, be on the second line or whatever. And like he could probably still pot 25 goals and a full 30 goals.
Well, all he's got to do is camp out at the dot on the power play, and he's still going to pot at least 20, 25 goals.
Yeah.
So he can keep his. I think he's one of those players too. Like he's going to want to keep playing, right?
Probably, yeah. I could see him like at the end, like he's 40 or whatever. He goes and plays like another year, like in the KHL.
It's getting a little old now, but those pregame video routines, those rituals, it's a little old because like they kind of played it out,
right?
But it's awesome to see like somebody like that.
Fuck
like,
yeah, you want to see that, bro. You want to?
Yeah, no, you want to see it. Like it's just annoying that like it's always the same guys, and it's like Chara's hiding behind the corner. He's like, it's cute. It's cute, and it's like it's really fun to see like guys get so into it, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. You want that. The Rangers have that too, though.
The Rangers have that too, for sure.
Rangers need to.
They've had a couple of moments on social media where it's like, okay, these guys like each other. They're having fun. It's cute. With the dummy,
could be a 50 goal scorer if he wanted to. But he's a selfless player. Artemi Panarin. He's the truth, bro. I just want to make sure people fucking know that.
We also can't go for a whole episode without talking about him a little bit.
No, we have to. I love him.
It is named after him.
I think he's going to break that Rangers record for 100 games.
Right. Is he down? He's tied with him right now, and he has 2 games left, I think. That's where we're at?
Yeah. So
yeah, he's tied with him.
Is that good? I don't know.
He's pretty good. Even when he doesn't make a good pass, it somehow lands on the guy's tape, and it's unreal.
Yeah. They call that hockey sense, bro. Hockey IQ.
He just knows. He just knows when to just throw it in the mixer, and it's gonna land on somebody's stick. It's crazy.
He's a wizard, bro.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, so you there was that. I sent you, a screenshot of that. I don't know what it is. It says it's the Athletics player value projections using game score value added. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's another
but this post showed Artemi as a top 5 player in the forward department, and Adam Fox says number 1 defenseman in the NHL over the last couple of years. The last couple of years, it says combined stats.
Bro, the kid does work, bro. I know Hedman's nice, but
do you there's a lot. I mean, besides Adam Fox is the obvious, the same guys. It's Kel McCarr, Victor Hedman, McAvoy. I mean, but where we're at now, where we have 2 guys at the top of their positions, Artemi's the best winger in the league, no? They say maybe Mark Stone's ahead of him. Maybe they're equal. Yeah. I don't know. Mark Stone's also on a team.
Patrick Kane.
Nah, I don't think so.
You're crazy. Patrick Kane's a stud.
I'm not saying he's not a stud. I think Artemi's ahead of him. I don't know. He's not even on this list, bro.
Which is nuts to me because Patrick Kane does work, bro.
This list is legit, though. This list is not a joke. It's Connor. It's McDavid. It's Pastrnak. It's Matthews, McKinnon, Panarin, Draisaitl, Marchand, Barkov, and Crosby.
Listen,
it's a legit list.
Yeah, listen. Pasternak's there too. They're all debatable, but yeah, is Artemi one of like the top 2 wingers? Yeah.
He is the top 2. He is either one.
He's the fucking best player in the league right now. But
it's not just his attitude. It's everything about him.
Yeah, he's not a bitch.
If you take everything else and you compile everything.
So just think of this, okay, for a second. Eichel, Panarin, Adam Fox
on the same squad.
That's a fucking cup contender. You need to be contending for the cup. Because then you have a top 3 winger, a top 3 center, or top 5 center, whatever, and a top fucking 5 defenseman. Yes or yes?
That's pretty good.
I'm not a math guy, but I think that's pretty good.
And let's not forget, if Igor actually turns into what we think he can turn into, then you also have a top goalie. Like,
and if Igor stays healthy, he is a top goalie.
Can we pull some wizardry and keep Mika on the team for this run? Or you think that's not going to happen?
I think, yeah. I mean, it depends how much he wants, right? Like, it also depends next year. If he comes out and scores fucking 40 goals.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Is he going to be like, I want $10 million? Or can we get him for 8.5?
And if you can get him for 8.5, knowing that you have Eichel coming, or if Eichel's on the team already, what do you
Eichel's already on the team, let's say. Let's say
Eichel's already on the team and you have to pay Mika. What are you paying him? What's the number?
I worry terms, right? Like, I don't want to give him 6 years.
It's the term too. You're right, because then you got to worry about all the kids that are growing up, right? That you got to eventually.
Big thing is term for sure, bro. Like,
and he's gonna want it because he hasn't gotten his payday yet. So I don't know.
Hey, you getting paid $5.3 million.
I think what you're saying is it's Eichel or Mika, and you're gonna choose Eichel, right? Whatever. Yeah. But then you're gonna
put my back to the wall, yeah.
But if you already traded away Strome or Hedl and you lose Mika, then it's Eichel and nobody. You got nobody.
No, you can't do that. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're talking about. It's not black and white. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about turning into the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, but you're not going to trade both Strome and Hedl.
You're not going to trade both of them. All right, so you have one. So you have Eichel and Hedl instead of Mika, Strome, and Hedl.
Yeah.
Is that better?
I don't know.
It's better up top. It's better at the top, but is it deeper? You need depth. You have to have.
Do you need depth though?
Also, Strome, we're not going to be able to keep anyway if he keeps this pace up because he's going to want to get paid $8 million too.
Yeah.
And we're not going to.
If that's the case, he's gone.
Christ, God forbid.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. We're going to trade him for a.
He's in the Eichel deal.
I'll tell you this: deadline next year, we get more for Strome than they got for Hall.
100%. Even if Strome comes back to like Earth, where he's like, like a half a point per game, maybe a little bit more, 50, 60 point per game player, not like a 70-point player now.
Where he's basically a leech off of Panarin, you mean?
Yeah.
Where he's
we'll get a first round
off the tee.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a poor job today. That was crazy.
They're crazy, bro. They're idiots. They're fucking dumb. That guy's dumb. That guy's there by himself. He's got no scouts, no nothing. He's probably sitting in a room just getting a ton of fucking phone calls. Like, oh, all right. Fucking idiot, bro.
The thing, though, next year, you're probably not even trading Strome, right? You're probably going to lose him for nothing because you're going to want to make a run, right? How do you go into the play? Like, if they're where we think they're going to be, where they're a playoff team, they want to make a push there. They had like a stretch of games where like, wow, they won 10 in a row. This team could do something in the playoffs, right? You can't trade Strome.
So this is you thinking no Eichel, though, during the summer.
This is me thinking no Eichel, right?
No. And listen, if they're making a run and there's no Eichel during the summer, that means to me Eichel's not coming to the Rangers.
Also, even if they do have Eichel and they traded Hedl to get him and kept Strome, then what? Then you keep Strome and you keep him for a playoff run and you lose him for nothing.
I wouldn't trade. I would keep him going. Yeah, if they're gonna run and he's the third line centerman,
you can't do that to your team. You can't send a message where like they're constantly trading for pieces.
You can't sign Strome. You can't sign Mika together, right? They're both gonna want so much money.
Right. Well, I'm just saying you're losing him. You're gonna essentially lose an asset for nothing, which is fine. Like it has to happen eventually. It's gonna happen. But you can't always go into the deadline thinking you're going to trade away your expiring contracts.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mantha's fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mantha's fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better. Fresh goes better with Mantha's fresh and full of life. the fresh maker.
So while we were at a break, Tony D'Angelo tweeted something, not that the Instagram something on his
Oh, brother.
he typed something. I said, we all know what happens next, but I'd like to thank the fans in New York that supported me for over the last 3+ years. I will always appreciate you guys. Some great times we had together.
Is that a suicide note?
Huh? Won't forget and hope you guys follow along. I am far from finished. Thank you. See you again soon. That was just, it was on his Instagram story.
So what? So is he going somewhere?
I guess he waited till the deadline, and maybe the Rangers told him what's happening now. Maybe the Rangers wanted to see if they could do something, and now that they know, or maybe he knew it was either traded at the deadline or get bought out. So now he knows he's getting bought out.
Right. Well, I mean, he even said early on, remember when he first got fucking waived and shit, that he was willing to play, like to get loaned to another AHL team and play on that team.
Okay, so he was open to stuff, but
yeah, so he's open to playing, which I get. Like, what the fuck, you're getting paid anyway, right?
As long as he's going to get paid, right? That's the thing.
He's going to get bought out, and he will get signed without a doubt.
Yeah, he's going to get signed for nothing. So
Yeah.
basically, the cost of him getting bought out, it's costing him $2.7 million, right? So if he gets a contract for one, he's going to lose like $1.5 million. You're saying?
No, I mean, yeah, he's still going to
If he gets a minimum, he's not going to get a minimum. He's going to get maybe a little above the minimum.
I could see him getting like $1 million.
$1.5 million.
Yeah,
I mean,
for a year.
He's a $6 million defenseman.
If I'm Buffalo, I am signing him.
Yeah, because you know what? Even if it
You
doesn't
got to
work
think out of the
out,
box, bro. You're a shitty team like that.
yeah,
you got to go after the goose eggs. You got to go after the misfits, you know?
You have to throw darts, right? Like, and at least maybe one of them becomes an asset that you trade into a first-round pick. You know, if you're rebuilding, whatever, you just need assets at that point. That's what the
100%.
Rangers did. The Rangers accumulated stuff, traded them away, used them, traded them, whatever, and now look where they are. I mean, you got to be smart about it. You can't be dumb and throw Taylor Hall away for a second-round pick. You can't be doing that kind of stuff and expect to win one day.
So crazy, dude.
But that's it. That's all I got. The Rangers play 4 games up this week. We're gonna. So by the time we speak next week, they have played 4 games against the Devils, or maybe 3, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm down to do another show quicker if you want. It's your call.
I'm down too because we don't have that many left. If you think about it,
15 or 14. I think it's 14.
I'm saying shows because like we got like 5-6 more weeks of the season left. So.
Yeah, but we could talk about it. We'll end up maybe doing shows on the broader stuff and like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we can keep talking about the playoffs. We can also
like Ranger
the Rangers off season, the draft. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's see.
I don't see an issue like to be able to fill up 45 to an hour about stuff.
No, not at all. I mean, you could talk forever. So
it's true. That is a fact. All right, that's the show. Artemi's Bread Baskets. Like and subscribe. If you're listening to us on audio, please rate and review. And God bless you. And God bless Artemi Panarin.
Yes.
Bye, George.
Bye-bye.